Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review. What a long, storied rivalry. Not always good, but storied rivalry that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar they battled multiple times, notably at WrestleMania 30. He won and then WrestleMania 34 or for the Universal Championship, and the time previous was for the WWE Championship. And at SummerSlam in 2021, Brock Lesnar confronted Roman Reigns after his match with John Cena, and so we knew we were getting the rivalry again. And so they would spend the next year engaged in a rivalry, facing off a few times, including at WrestleMania when Brock was the WWE champion, Roman Reigns was the Universal champion, and they had the quote unquote biggest WrestleMania match of all time. I'm and Brock was dead set on getting his championship back, especially because his former advocate Paul Heyman had fully turned on him. He actually turned on him back at the Royal Rumble, and Brock lost the WWE Championship. Yes, Brock was WWE champion then, and lost it to Bobby Lashley. And Paul fully aligned himself with the Bloodline. So, now it all comes to this: the final Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match. This time it's at SummerSlam. This time, it's last man standing, and most importantly of all, this time it's under new management. I'm, of course, talking about SummerSlam 2022, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at SummerSlam 2022, which I mentioned already. So, a Department of Redundancy department. But as always, I'm not professional wrestling reviewer, analyst, or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time. And you know what? I had a great time when I watched this back in 2022 when I watched this live. And then you know what? About 3 years later, rewatching it for the purpose of review, not a damn thing changed. This match was all kinds of fun. Let's get right into it. Now, if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you can already know how this works. But if you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about the match. I kind of mentioned where we had gone, how we got here, but there are some gaps I need to fill in. In this time, Brock Lesnar challenged for the Universal Championship. Previously, they faced at Crown Jewel, if I'm not mistaken. Brock Lesnar came up short. They were supposed to face again at the day one event, but Roman contracted COVID. Instead, Brock was added to the WWE Championship match, and sadly took the WWE Championship off another member of the New Day in Big E, who thankfully lasted longer against Brock than Kofi did. But Brock was WWE Champion again, faced Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. I believe that was the first time they ever faced off. The dream match that ended up kind of sucking a little bit, but Paul Heyman and Roman, who had a quote unquote broken up just a few weeks before the Rumble. They were back together. Cost Brock the championship. Bobby was oblivious to as he was laid out at the time, but they cost Brock the championship. Eventually, Bobby defends it in the Elimination Chamber match, which was in Saudi Arabia. I think probably among one of the only Elimination Chamber matches I actually have not seen. And there's thankfully not that. Actually, there actually is quite a few. Jeez, I'm actually further behind than I thought. But anyway, or I should say during like the W Network eras, the W Network slash like Peacock. I think out of that era, I think that in 2015 are like the only ones I have not seen. But no, but nevertheless, so Brock won the W Championship back. Then they had a winner takes all unification match at WrestleMania, and Roman won that after hurting his shoulder, and now it's led to this match here between the two. And you know it's gonna be off to a fun start when Brock pulls up in a freaking tractor. And also they cut this from the feed, like it shows a different camera shot. Why did you cut the moment where Brock threw the mic at Roman and he perfectly caught it? That's one of the coolest things, and they cut it from the broadcast. What the hell, Peacock? No, but nevertheless, has Brock and Roman do get to fighting early on, and just all kinds of fun car crash, carnage, action, and some brutal spots, some unintentionally hilarious spots, such as when Brock breaks a table. So Roman puts Brock through two tables, and then Brock later on picks up a piece of the table, like one of the end pieces picks up the leg, like the broken table, and like hits Roman with it, kind of like how Captain America hits people with his shield, kind of. Not like throwing it frisbee style, although that would have been hilarious. But kind of like he sometimes hits people with the front of the shield. He kind of did one of those, which was hilarious. Brock getting back in the tractor and putting Roman in like the part and like the on like because it had like an attachment to it to lift stuff up which wouldn't that make it kind of closer to like a bulldozer? Or, as you can tell, I'm not familiar with my construction vehicles, which apparently fun fact, Stone Cold Steve Austin and kind of did in warehouses, worked in warehouses as he was trained to be a wrestler. So that explains how he has his knowledge of heavy machinery. But Brock dumping Roman in there. Uh, in the ring via that part, and then lifting up the ring and Roman falling over, as well as the ref lifting up the whole ring with the tractor. Just all kinds of fun moments, and watching it back just brought me back to that, so the first time I watched it, and I had just as much excitement and like hilarity as I did when I first watched it was like the craziest thing I had seen. And this time, unlike the Cena match that we just reviewed, Jimmy and Jay do get involved, which I mean you kind of have to. And the closing moments even of like Roman repeatedly trying to put Brock down and Brock just continuing to get back up. Admittedly, that was pretty cool. Well, now unlike the previous match, which I had talked about, what I didn't like about that match, now that's how you do like kind of finish your spams and make it look interesting, just showing how Brock's like undying beast. This this like titan, this behemoth that just will not stay down. Eventually the Usos do get involved, and Brock does indeed put Paul through a table after Paul initially pleads with Brock, but then and kind of like mocks him and is put through a table for his efforts. But eventually he and the perfect way to close out this insane match, putting Brock down, and then the Usos and Roman just burying Brock and stuff, like throwing like tables, chairs onto him, just pinning him down, just stay down on for the count, which Brock eventually does, and Roman picks up the win. Hell of a match. That's just awesome. Awesome match and an awesome way to end this rivalry. The rivalry has ups and downs between Roman and Brock, but I think this was the perfect way to end it. I definitely would say it's the best match of their entire rivalry, although that's really not hard to do, looking at the grand scope of their matches together. But yeah, absolutely hell of a match, and absolutely a very very fun match. It was fun, like I said, it was fun when I watched it initially live back in 2022, and it was fun going back to rewatch it, I should say, for the purpose of review here. Now, in terms of what I didn't quite like about the match, if I had to find anything, admittedly, the part at the end where Brock does keep getting back up, it's cool as hell, but it does kind of drag, unfortunately. And I get that's kind of the nature of that. And one of the things that kind of is kind of a complication of a last man standing match is that sometimes things do kind of stop start and kind of drag at points. But otherwise, that's just a small nitpick for what is an awesome match. If you haven't watched this match, I definitely recommend it. And if you have, I recommend watching it again. And this is when I knew that we were in safe hands in the Triple H era. That's right. This was the first official pay-per-view slash premium live event where Triple H was the chief content officer, head of creative, stuff like that, and pulled on a hell of a SummerSlam. Now, have things been perfect in the Triple H era? No. Or there's plenty of things that need to be worked on. Absolutely. But this was a hell of a start, and I would say a perfect start to that time period. That's still going mostly strong to this day. But nevertheless, that is going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on the post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you never miss an upload. And let me know in the comment section below what are your thoughts on this match, my review of the match. Do you like this match? Do you like my review of the match? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.